An Amherst Regional Middle School guidance counselor has won her job back after she was fired for allegedly misgendering students.
Buckle up, everybody, because we are in for a ride. My name is Amir Odom, and in today's video, we're going to be reacting to a bunch of just various different woke and liberal TikToks that have been put together by our producer, Jake. I know that from like Minnesota, the Somalians in Minnesota, to the people talking about the Texas flood, to the ICE raids, to race relations, there's so much that's been going on that we thought we'd throw it back to just a classic OG reaction video to the most insane clips out there. And so it gets absolutely insane in this video. So if you like this type of content, be sure to subscribe. And without further ado, let's dive right into this video.
Somalia Hanulato! Somalia Hanulato!
There is no way in Sam diggity hell that this should be legal or allowed here in the United States of America. What we're seeing here is Mayor Jacob Frey speaking to a Somali crowd out of Minneapolis, and I'm not the biggest fan of people coming to this country and then crapping on this country or trying to turn certain towns and areas back into what they came from. If you like it so much over there, keep it over there, but don't come here and you don't like how things are and you try to switch it up. I'm all for being a free country, but keyword a free country here in America, the United States of America only. Personally, I don't think it should be legal for someone to wave the flag of another country in here. Like, that doesn't, unless it's like the Olympics and everybody's getting together rooting for their country, sure, but as far as like waving a flag of a foreign country, it does not make sense to me. At that, I think to hold any type of office, any type of public office where you're making laws, rules, this, that, and the third, you need to have been born here. You need to be a natural US citizen, because it does concern me how, especially like in Minneapolis, the rise of like all the Somalians out there, and they're getting into our laws and they're changing things up. It's just, I feel like if I'm here in America, I should be experiencing America everywhere. Like, I understand if you go to a downtown, there's a little Chinatown here or a little Pakistan over there, like in New York. You got these little pockets of areas. I'm open to have a conversation. I'm open to go back and forth and talk about these different little towns and foods and vibes and cultures. But there comes a point where America has to decide, are we all gonna assimilate and live together under a core identity, under a core cultural alliance, and assimilate to this culture? Or are we going to be just a mosaic? Like, for example, is America actually going to be a melting pot where we all melt together and fuse into this great idea of what America is? Or is America just a mosaic where it's a bunch of different cultures and identities just pieced together, and that's America? Because I'm not gonna say what we do know, but what I do feel, at least, is that that's not sustainable and that's not gonna work out in the long term, because you have so many different areas clashing. Like, for example, I have no shade to anybody speaking Spanish. I'm trying to learn Spanish myself. I get it. But if I'm here in the United States, there's no reason why I order DoorDash and you come here and you speaking to me in Spanish and look like me, I'm the problem. I'm here and listen, I'm keeping it a buck, because we can't go to Japan and expect them to only speak English and have people and locals adapt to you speaking English. No, you need to adapt to them. I'm not gonna go to Paris. Well, I'm not gonna go to Paris regardless. If you know, you know. I'm not gonna go to Paris regardless, but if I was in Paris, I'm gonna try to learn their language. When you come here to the United States, you're living in the United States, English is its language. And if you're running a business here in America, you should at least know for certain English. There's no reason I'm in Miami, and well, there's obviously a reason. It's understandable, it's Miami, but I go into a ice cream shop in Miami and everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm downtown, not even like a little Mexico Village. I'm downtown trying to get ice cream, and I'm getting met with stares and people look at me like I'm crazy because I don't understand what they're saying to me. I thought I was in America. I'm just keeping it a buck, you guys, because at some point it gets to a point where, like, what is American identity if it's all just getting stripped away, and we have things like this where there's a growing faction of little pockets of areas of just different clashing cultures? I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not. And this whole thing, little Somalia out here in Minnesota, I don't get it. I don't like it, and I don't want it.
America, please get me out of this place. I'm tired. I'm losing my shit. Tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired.
So that's what mental illness looks like. There's nothing preventing this person from being a successful Black woman here in the United States of America. And it's sad because on one end, yeah, I'm like, this is what mental illness looks like. But I feel like this isn't a meme and like she's not playing. I feel like this is genuinely real for a genuine fear and distaste of living here in America because they're actually brainwashed by mainstream media. When in reality, two things really I think this person could do. One, get off the phone, get off the internet. But two, a better sense of self and a better sense of identity of where your life can go and be. That will get you very, very far in life. But off the bat, get me out of America, please. No one's holding you hostage, sweetie. You can go. You hate this country so much, leave. Go to another country and see if you can be just as successful as you could here in America. Go. Ain't nothing stopping you. These airlines, they be giving all these deals to go abroad. You be sitting in the back of the plane, but you can go. Go on there out there to Africa and go click clack with the little cousins and go out there and see how life is for you. Go experience that because you're gonna want to bring your ass right back here to the States. And it is sad and it is unfortunate that people like here exist because I always talk about how we are literally we're quite frankly, I am my ancestors' dream. I understand what my parents have gone through. I understand what my grandparents have gone through. I understand what my great-grandparents have gone through. And it all has been going downhill as far as like the amount of like racism out there. Like things are actually getting better. And the things that are getting worse is because of our own fault, which we talked about in like my Black fatigue video or like the why stores are leaving the Black community. However, like right now, it's really not that bad, especially compared to what our ancestors have gone through. So I don't find the reason for this person to be crashing out like this over America. I really don't, other than mainstream media. Because if you know me, if you knew me before 2016, 2017, you would understand that I felt this way. I had panic attacks and I would break down at the sight of a policeman because I genuinely thought I would die. I genuinely thought I had a target on my back because I was Black and I was gay, and all I listened to was mainstream media that I had to be a Democrat, I had to be Republicans, I had to at the front and believe in this idea that I just have it so like two identity like check boxes here in the States, and I'm just like, oh, woe is me, woe is me. No. What people fail to realize is that there is a lot of your personality that becomes reality, okay? Your identity, how you're thinking about yourself, your mind, your thoughts, that gets transferred out into energy. Where attention goes, energy flows. And if you keep focusing on the negativity in life, you keep focusing on the random things that happen here in America, or you're looking at something through a racial lens, that's what you're gonna get and that's what you're gonna see. Time after time, you're gonna be continuously able to block your blessings and feel this decrepit and this sad and this just distasteful of being here in the United States of America, claiming that you want to get out and you want to leave as if you can't. You can. Exit stage left, please. Thank you. Bye.
So wait, Texas has been cheering on ICE all across the country, and now y'all want sympathy for a flood? Have you lost your minds? No, I don't feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for the mom that had that 4-year-old ripped from her arms and will have to hear her baby scream in her head for the rest of her life.
You don't feel bad for little girls who lost their lives in a flood because you think that it's likely that their parents voted for Trump and that these are the same people that are championing for ICE to take it to do something about this illegal immigration and everything going on. And you saying you have more sympathy for a parent of a child who knew they were doing something illegal. Make it make sense. If you are a parent doing something illegal, you are putting yourself at risk to be stripped away from your children. Honestly, you're putting yourself at risk at harming and damaging. You're putting your child in harm's way by doing something illegal. That just is what it is. If that parent would have stayed put where they were and fought hard to protect their kid or do whatever they need to do and come here the legal way, nobody would have an issue with it. But you can't skip the line. You can't just take advantage and abuse systems just because you feel like your life is in danger and you deserve to be here first. That's not how this rolls. And there's groups of people regarding the Texan flood, because y'all know what happened in Texas here in the United States. It's flooded. There's like 100 deaths. It's really, really sad. It's insane. There's been people like this that have been like, well, I don't feel bad for them. They got what's coming to them. All these little girls and the people in these towns losing their families, they deserve it because of what's happening with ICE. They deserve it because they voted for Trump. These little kids didn't even vote.
Who do I feel bad for, MAGA? You guys voted to take this National Weather Service away. You guys voted and cheered on Doe's shutting everything down. I don't care about you people.
All it takes is one Google search to look and see what exactly was cut out from these programs. Quit hearing and listening to these damn headlines online talking about oh, Trump removes budget from this. Look into it. And what you'll find is a lot of just weird little stuff. Oh, remove this camera crew. Cool. Oh, cut off this contract for this random buoy over here. Cool. Like, just, I've looked into this, and you can too. Anybody can. But it frustrates me how there's people like this that just read a headline or see something and immediately jump to their feelings and emotions about a said situation, when in reality, that's not how it always is played out. Talking about, well, you voted for this, that don't even go into effect until later on. Like, it's not like Trump says something, then boom, that happens right then and there. No, this is all plans that are going to be taken later on. So, like, off the bat, you're already wrong. But two, you're double wrong for having this mindset, just wishing ill will and not feeling bad or empathy for little kids losing their lives because of what their parents may have voted for.
I hope you suffer worse than anyone. I hope the parents of these kids regret every day voting for Donald Trump. And I don't want to hear we don't know who they voted for. It's Texas and it's a camp. And the fact that y'all even want empathy tells me everything.
At this rate, honestly, that black girl before crashing out, not wanting to be here in America, I believe that a lot more. Maybe I'm biased because I was there and I've had friends like that, and I kind of get it. I can see how they can be that brainwashed and that emotional. But this person right here, part of me feels like I don't want to be hypocritical. I don't want to sit here and say, like, when someone disagrees with me, they're like, oh, Amir, you're just paid. Oh, Amir, you just like grifting, you're making money off of this. Because for me, I have videos about being pro-Trump and I have videos about being anti-Trump. I talk about the people that don't support him anymore. I talk about why he's wrong. I talk about a wide range of topics. This person, when looking into their account, it's like in their title being anti-MAGA, and all the videos are just like going off and off and off about Trump. And that's this person's sole identity. So when I say I think they're grifting, I think they're literally just reaching in the rage bait, I'm low-key kind of giving them grace saying that. Because I would hope that someone truly doesn't think like this and puts on a pedestal a bad parent who made a bad decision versus a little kid whose parents voted for the president who won the popular vote. It's actually insane to me. And the people who have this mindset that, oh, MAGA Texans have championed ICE, I have no empathy to give, fitting the day y'all took healthcare away from millions, the universe is sending you a message. Everything's not this cut and dry. And I wish people looked into these things more with a serious lens. Even that sentence alone took y'all healthcare away from millions. If you look into what actually happened, one, we're not funding illegal immigrants' healthcare anymore. We shouldn't be doing that in the first place, because you're always talking about we need to fix our infrastructure, we need to fix our roads, and teachers need more pay, and this, that, and the third. How do you expect, where's the money coming from? How do you expect us to just fix and do everything under the world? We can't. That's just not feasible. It's not possible. Same thing with all these, like the budget cuts and the big beautiful bill. We already gone through that in another video. There's a lot of people leeching off of the system, and it's not acceptable anymore, and something needs to be done. And by saying that and by wanting that, it doesn't constitute offspring, like children dying, especially when you're talking about these immigrants in ICE. They're putting their children through the worst things possible, climbing through barbed wires, jumping fences, swimming through rivers. Yeah, I get it. They're doing all that just to get here to America. Come here the illegal way. So what you're doing is you're putting your child in harm, and you're putting yourself in harm by both being just illegal citizens. And it's not fair to us. It's not fair to the tax-paying people having to foot the bill and deal with all this nonsense.
An Amherst Regional Middle School guidance counselor has won her job back after she was fired for allegedly misgendering students. According to the superintendent of Amherst Public Schools, Delinda Dykes appealed her termination through arbitration.
I'm a child. I don't get to laugh at the name. That is insane that in the year 2025, in these past few years, you have people losing their job for misgendering a student. I'm going to repeat that. There are teachers losing their job for not referring to a male as a female or a female as a male, just because that child wants to be called or referred a certain way. Did we forget that they are children? Did we forget that in this middle school, now one of them can drink, smoke, vote, drive, any of these things? But all of a sudden, if Jimmy says they're Jaminia, why did I just come up with that name? Maybe that's how black folk be coming up with them ghetto ass names, because that was real quick of me. Jaminia. Anyways, if Jimmy wants to become Jaminia, How it's a kid. And then because I don't want to call Jimmy Jamina, now I'm going to get fired. And people talk about these things don't exist. These things aren't happening. It is happening. It's literally clown world. In no way should a guidance counselor, a grown ass adult, a grown ass guidance counselor be losing their job because it is very confused, going through puberty, self-identified LGBTQ student wants to be referred a certain way. We need to bring back common sense. We need to bring back parenting, because what we have here is getting out of control. And that is one of the many reasons why people are absolutely fed up with the LGBTQ community and all this nonsense out here, because it is actually affecting real people in real lives, especially regarding free speech.
Arbitrator ruled in favor of Dykes and ordered that the district immediately reinstate her to her position. Dykes was fired following a 2023 Title IX investigation into how staff handled reported LGBTQ+ bullying. The superintendent said, quote, "This is an opportunity to improve how we lead, how we document, and how we ensure accountability."
Stupid. All that. It'll make no sense to me, but what I'm reading here, looking into it, it does say that they have ruled that Dykes must be issued, I'm a child, that Dykes must be issued back pay for the work that she was unable to complete after being fired. So cool. She getting back pay. I'm glad Dykes got her job back and she's doing what she needs to do, because that is ridiculous that a child had the power to have a teacher get fired because Jimmy wanted to be referred as Jamina. Knowing that a teacher was fired for not affirming somebody's gender is almost as crazy as understanding and knowing that your private information is being sold right now on the internet. However, thanks to today's sponsor, Aura, you don't have to worry about this anymore. I don't have to worry about my identity being stolen because I know they have my back and they're constantly doing reports all around the internet. They tell me when they found my phone number in some data leak from this company that I signed up for 3 years ago. Truly, with the mass amount of random spam texts and calls that people have been getting lately, I'm thankful to have Aura by my back to not have to deal with all of this and to have them take it down for me. Because again, it is very concerning how much of our private information is bought and sold online on the daily. It's a service that protects all of your information and honestly does the work of a lot of different apps in one. And some people prefer apps that offer a whole suite of tools, and that's what this is. They do the reaching out to the data brokers and the weird creepy websites to get your information taken down, because while they make it incredibly hard to do so, I would just let Aura handle that for you. At that, it's a VPN, it's a password manager, identity theft protection, financial fraud protection. It does so much, all under one app that is nationally recognized and respected. It's digital protection for everything that matters, and given that my life is online, I'm more than thankful that I've Aura to have my back. It's easy to use, it's sleek, and it's honestly the one-stop shop that I know a lot of people have been yearning for, because literally there's an app for everything nowadays, but having all these tools in one suite does make a difference for a lot of people. So either you can continue to let people profit and exploit your private information online, or you can go to aura.com/Amir, aura.com/Amir, by tapping the link below, scanning the QR code here on the screen to start your 2-week free trial. Your private information, and everything that is about you, it's worth the peace of mind to have something like this have your back.
Good afternoon, Free Palestine. Did you guys ask your therapist who they voted for? Because I feel like I need to ask my therapist who they voted for, because I go for EMDR therapy and I'm trying to deal with some SA issues, and I don't want to do that with someone who voted for an SAer. Now, I looked it up, and according to the internet, you are allowed to ask, but your therapist can also deny answering that question.
Or, plot twist, if your therapist is there to do a job and they're doing their job well, then just keep them and go about your day. Because what if this was flipped? What if you found a therapist and you're like, actually, you look crazy and I don't like your political views, so I need you to leave? You would be mad and you'd probably file a lawsuit. Politics and where somebody stands doesn't need to be looped into every single thing. And I understand there's a little context with this, in that this person was SA'd, assaulted. So she doesn't want someone that voted for Trump because she views Trump as an SA'er. But at the same time, this is just derangement. It's literally just derangement. I truly just think if the therapist is doing a good job, kudos. But if you don't like their personal life and you're not just vibing with them, yeah, you have every right to get a new therapist, but I wouldn't make it your mission to just go out there and say, I don't want any therapist who voted for Trump. That's more than half the country. Just letting you know right off the bat. At that, I'm not going to knock anyone that's really good at their job just because of their political views. I'm sorry. We all know it, and it's a meme. Some of the best coffee comes from people that look like this. And I'm not, just because I don't politically agree with you doesn't mean I'm not going to let you make my coffee. Hello. If you, for example, if you're on a plane and it's crashing, I don't care what the person voted for. If you can fly a plane, fly this damn plane and get us out of here. If I need heart surgery, I want the best heart surgeon. I don't care if they're white. I don't care if they're trans. I don't care if they voted for Kamala or for Trump. It doesn't matter. Just give me the best because I'm there for the job. You're here for the job. So just get the best and go about your day. But it's extra funny too because these are the same people touting love and inclusivity and diversity, but you don't want any of that. You actually don't. None of your actions show or prove that you're really for a diverse set of opinions and differing thoughts and being around different people. You just want to be locked into your box of anybody that hates Trump. That's who I'm vibing with. I don't know why this is a thing.
Hi, I have a question before I order. Might be like a little bit of a weird question, but I'm trying to prioritize spending money at businesses that aren't reporting employees or customers to ICE right now. So before I order, I just want to make sure that you guys are doing that at this business.
No, we're not.
Okay, sorry. It's like not the case. I don't really want to give you my money then.
You only want to support businesses that are aiding in breaking the law. That's what you're here for. Again, when it comes to ICE and these deportations, you can have, I feel like it's a lot of people's empathy clouding judgment. Because you can have empathy and say, yeah, it is sad that these people are being ripped from families, or it's sad that they're being sent back, this, that, and the third. But what's also sad is that they broke the law. What's also sad is that they knew this could happen. What's also sad is they put themselves in this situation. There is a certain amount of personal responsibility that is there. There's a legal way to come to this country and there's an illegal way to come to this country. And I'm not going to sit here and fight and tooth and nail to fight and to protect the people who are coming here illegally and putting themselves in harm's way. Truly, it's come to a point where our empathy is clouding our judgment in the sense that we want this utopia, we want to save everything, and we want this, we need to help everybody, accept everybody, this, that, and the third. This is not feasible. We literally cannot save the entire world. We literally cannot take in every single body when we already know how many issues we're already fighting here right now in this country. Things need to be prioritized, things need to be taken care of, and we cannot do this if our attention is diverted everywhere, all across these different causes and things, and these wars and these illegals, this, that, and the third. It's not sustainable. It's not realistic. Maturing is realizing that America is a third world country. Even Iran looks like they're living in the future. Have you left the country? That's what I wonder. All these people complaining about America, it's so bad, and this, that, and the third. Have you left? Have you traveled abroad? Have you gone to other places? I understand we not be the best, especially like if you're in a bad state and you go abroad somewhere else, you may like it more. Cool. I'm not saying that we're absolutely perfect, but we're definitely not a third world country. Now, some areas are turning into it. And that's what I don't want, but to say that America's a third world country and Iran looks better, this, that, and the third, then go. I will never understand the crapping on this country that affords you so many rights and privileges to the point where you get on somebody's internet and now you on my Wi-Fi signal talking about America's ghetto. Well, America definitely has its ghetto times and ghetto areas. I will give you that. And some areas do look like a third world country, especially in the hoods. But she's talking about in totality. That's not the case. And I cannot bring myself to hate this country and look on it that bad when I've been abroad and I've been other places and I understand what this country could be. I understand what this country gives me. I know the rights and the privileges, and I respect that and I honor that and I'm thankful for it. And I think all of us should feel that same way. But again, this delusion that you hate America and that it's so bad and it's a third world country, this and that and the third, then go somewhere else, please. Because I love it here. There are some things I definitely want to fix up for sure, but that's why I'm patriotic. That's why I love this country. That's why I push back against things I don't agree with, like this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, which I just talked about in another video. I will push back and I will fight tooth and nail to protect this nation and the freedoms that it provides me. Because I understand that there is somebody right now on this planet fighting for their lives to live the life that I have right now. And not even just me, but you too. No matter where you're at in life, there is someone out there fighting to get to where you are at right now. And I'm more than blessed and thankful, and I have so much gratitude for where I'm at right now, and I want to protect it. So while we do have some ghetto pockets and some third world pockets, I'm not going to see this whole totality as America is that bad.
Sucking sons of a that think that you're just gonna go and arrest a bunch of protesters because they're out there doing something you're too afraid to do. They're out there fighting for our freedom, and they're out there fighting for our right for free speech, because you, all 2,000 of you National Guardsmen, you brave ass soldiers, you think you're gonna march in those streets and tell those people to shut the up? That is what you decided to fight for. You chose to defend us against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and you failed. And that's why they're out there on those streets. So who the you to tell them to shut the up. Why don't you grow a pair, take off your mask, and tell me your name? Because my name is Alex and I say you.
Again, I would classify this as being deranged. I would classify this as being extremely misled, out of touch with oneself. That's what I would say this is, and that's what's going on. Because off the bat, I would never have a conversation with this person. I would never have a conversation with somebody that emotionally invested and that angry and that triggered. I would not even bother having a conversation with this person because they're not here to hear the other side or learn something new. They're not. This person's talking about fighting for our freedoms and protesting. Illegal immigrants are not free. Dare remind you what the word illegal means. And then you're talking about take off your mask and tell me your name. You want that so you can cause harm. You want to cause harm to somebody who doesn't politically think like, while screaming, down with the fascists, down with the authoritarians. It's saddening. It's saddening and it's frustrating how many people there are out there like this. Obviously, it's not the majority. The majority aren't this crazy, aren't this deranged. I can get behind that. But even then, it's like you can have somebody on the super far right, like all the people like in Jan 6 climbing up the walls and stuff like that. Though people were crazy, I get it. But that was one day. These protesters out here hipping and hollering all the damn time, and then wanting to dox people and causing harm and not really realizing what they're fighting for, how deep, like what they're doing. It's wild to me, especially when they're this young and this misguided and this emotional. That's a matchup for just anxiety and fear and to be hateful and to be spiteful. It is. And I know this is a video where we're reacting, to crazy liberals and it's funny and the woke mom this and the third. But it's low-key not. Some ends of it can be funny, yeah, but some ends of it can also be sad because of where some people are at in this nation. Because I only want the best for this lady. She probably would say that she'd probably, as mad as she is now, she'd probably be this mad at my content. Somebody, type it in the comments, this and the third. I get it. But like, I feel this. The energy's off. Like, this is real. This is real anger, real pain, real hatred. And that's like spooky to see. It's spooky. It's weird. It's weird. It's very weird. It's very strange to witness this behavior out here in the streets from people that are speaking this loud and are 100% confident in their views and them right, this, that, and the third, when people like this could not be further from the truth and are completely wrong in their views. I'll say it right now.
Shame. Another one of those. Shame.
As I was saying, Exhibit A, B, and C. Crazy. You do not see this behavior on the right, on the center. You don't. The only example people can point to is Jan 6. That's it. But like I just said, it's at every protest. People are crazy. And truly, I will only pit together the left versus the right when it's things that are that makes sense and they're there. I mean, we talked about, I went to that Kamala rally. That was crazy too. And again, they say it, not me. Oh, love, inclusivity, positivity, yay, rainbows, equality. What is this behavior? It's insane. And they wonder how Trump got the popular vote. They wonder how they keep pushing people away because they are batshit crazy, you guys. I listen, all my liberal friends that I have, all my friends that dislike Trump, they don't act like this. They don't. Even then, they still do get very passionate and very emotional and act very heated. I'll say that, but it's not, you don't want to be this. I'm not knocking people who disagree with me. You can disagree with me all day long. We can have opposing political views. That's cool. But if you're acting like this, which is a common behavior at most liberal protests, what do you want? What do you expect to happen? What minds do you think are going to be changed? What are you expecting? Especially when you're being interviewed, because when oftentimes these interviewers out here, they're asking very polite and simple questions. That's it. And I feel like, and I could be projecting, I'm going to be honest here, much like me when I was there, I was one to get angry fast. I was one to get upset because when having these calm discussions with somebody who was thinking differently than me, I realized I didn't know what I was talking about and I was talking on my ass. And that alone was enough to make me frustrated and make me angry because it showed me that I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. And I had no firm grounding. I had no core beliefs. I had nothing to stand on. And that scared me and that made me uncomfortable. Girl, you were not slick. Not slick at all. And it's to the point where people still out here keying Teslas. You so mad at somebody's, not even somebody's boss. You're mad at this man who runs this company to the point where anybody who drives a car related to this company, you want to key it to send a message that you hate the person who made the car. Again, do you realize how stupid and far-fetched that is? The media just woke up and told you to hate Elon. Even I've never been like, I've been critical of Elon, but like, I'm not gonna key somebody's Tesla. As someone who owns some of them, it's like, even me, I remember I was on the interstate. I told the story before. I was on the interstate and this white, again, this big ass white liberal was cussing me out, flicking me out, honking the horn because I was driving my Tesla. Like, and what makes you think it's okay for you to key somebody's car? You're that politically involved that that's what you want to do? This video done stressed me the hell out. From Trump to Teslas to little Somalia to people wanting to leave America, there was a lot that we touched on in this video. But for certain, as someone who used to be on the left, as someone who was out there in the streets crying, honestly crying, and feeling this emotional, feeling this hateful for America, the only piece of advice I'd love to leave you at the end of this video is to at least go out there and have a firm belief, have a firm grip on your belief system and know your why. And your why is not because this influencer said something. Your why is not because the news said this. Your why should be integral to who you are. You should stand firm in your beliefs and understand and know and trust in why you feel that way. Because then when you understand where you're coming from, you can back up your claims and you're feeling confident, this, that, and the third, you can't be pushed to be that emotional. One, because you won't waste your time with it, but two, you just know, like, you're just confident, like you just know how you feel and you go about your day. But these compilations of people that are just this deranged and it's upset and it's sad, that alone is sad. Like, how is somebody right there? And it's crazy enough that I used to be there. That's what's really crazy. So definitely let me know in the comments below, were you there? Was there any point in this video where you saw an image of your prior self? Because I definitely did. At that, have you come across people like this who have been deranged, who have been crazy? What do you do? Or even alone, have you lost friends who end up being that crazy? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know your opinion. And as always, thank you for your time spending it here, watching these reactions, watching these videos, or you're eating a meal, listening in the car, sitting in bed, like whatever it may be. Just thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Be sure to like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow a ton. And before we go, I want you to know that your life, for the most part, is in your control, and your mindset matters way more than you can ever think. So if there are goals that you're trying to achieve, if there is this version of yourself you are wanting to be, you have to lock in and you will get there. But you have to do it with a plan. You have to do it with integrity. You have to do it with love. You have to do it with trust and a drive and true passion. But you have to focus on just yourself, and you have to understand that it's called going through it for a reason. You're not stuck there. You're going to survive. So whatever you're going through right now, this is not your forever. It's not. So whoever needs to hear that, I hope you got it. I hope it's well received. And I hope you understand that I know I'm here just through a screen, but you're not alone. So I'm thinking about you. I do this at the end of every video. I hope you're doing all right, and I hope you get better. So with that being said, I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for your time. My name is Amir Odom. See you next time. Deuces.